to Philly tomorrow night, 7:30. They'll tip off against the Sixers, and then back here at home on Wednesday to play the Heat. Who's on the Heat now?
And Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler's on the Heat?
Yeah. Yeah, remember we did that emo hair for his picture.
I guess I thought he had moved on, yeah.
He's still with the Heat. They're in the finals last year.
Yeah, it looks like Andre 3000 there with the...
Oh, my God. You listen to that album? What a piece of
nope.
crap.
After they said it was all flute music, I was
did
like,
not lie.
Yeah, no. It wasn't scratching me where I itch. But clearly he's got some kind of itch and a full-on flute record.
Mm-hmm.
You can't, Poundcake will tell you, you can't fence in an artist. You've got to be allowed to float free. I went to see the Marvels over the weekend.
Oh, what'd you think? I saw it. Yeah, that's about right.
There was zero things you hadn't seen before. But I like the cast. I think that girl's real good that plays...
Brie Larson looks fantastic.
Brie Larson looks awesome all the time. I thought, but I'm watching it. I'm the only one in the theater, by the way.
Yeah.
And
it makes sense with the number, like they had a record drop off from the first week to the second week.
Yeah, but also the, if you're in one of these Marvel movies, the bar is set so unbelievably high for you, just based on the history, that they're like, yeah, this is a flop. It's not going to make $100 million, because that's what they expect from these movies. It'll be the first MCU title to probably not make $100 million domestic. So it'll still make a couple $100 million. But I'm watching it, I'm like, again, this is another example of a movie that they make because they have the intellectual property and they have this universe, but no one was clamoring for this. And another movie where you have to be aware of so many other storylines.
Mm-hmm.
That's what, as the ripples worked out of these Marvel movies away from the original Avengers and on and on and on, and then they started making TV shows and limited series. And I'm like, oh my God. I didn't watch Miss Marvel. I mean, it looked cool and everything, but I'm not going to watch it. I don't think you really need to watch it to follow the Marvels, but...
There were some laughs. The thing I'll say about the Marvels, there were some laughs. It was short, and I liked the Flurkin thing.
Oh, the cats.
Yeah, with all the swallowing.
Yeah, it was entertaining enough. I wasn't mad I went to go see it. I was the only one in there. I am a little, obviously everybody notices this by now, depending on how often you go to the movies, but the trailers and the commercials now are a full 35 minutes. They need to start telling people when the movie starts.
No, they
now
want
when the
you to
commercials
watch.
start.
They want you to watch.
No, I fully understand that, but they're going to, as much as they're complaining that people aren't going to the movies, you're going to have empty theaters from coast to coast. If people are sitting there for 35 minutes,
I leave
watching commercials. If it was a half an hour of trailers, I'm enough of a nerd, or I'd be like, oh, cool. But even those you see online ahead of time, so they're not even breaking anything with the trailers. But 35 minutes, because Gwen's texting me, how's the movie? I go, I don't know, it hasn't started yet.
Commercials like what?
Everything. Capital One, Coca-Cola. I mean, every car commercials. Interspersed with Maria Menounos and her trivia. I'm like, holy Christ.
I get to the movie, or I leave my house when the movie starts.
That's smart.
Because then I get there, I catch like the last trailer, and then the movie starts.
Yeah.
Because it's ridiculous.
I'm such a jag-off. I still like to get there in time. Because I go, well...
This will be the one.
Gloss over that. Let's get, what other ways make you a jag-off?
Just the movie thing.
So many things. But this is the one I'm talking about right now. This is the one I'm laser focused on.
Yeah.
No, because I'm trying to do the math on it. I go, okay, this is opening weekend for Trolls.
Oh.
So I'm thinking the concession line is going to be super long. It's going to be parents herding cats with their children. Big, long line of concessions, right?
What day did you go?
I went Saturday at 11 a.m. That's prime time for parents taking their kids to Trolls.
Yeah.
So I go, okay, I'm going to get there and no line for the concessions. So I get into the theater in no time flat, lickety split. And I'm sitting there. And listen, I usually am like 15, 20 minutes is usually what you assume, or historically, lately, over the past couple of years, 15, 20 minutes for trailers and commercials and whatever. 35 minutes. And the movie started.
What theater?
Jesus, Crocker Park.
Yeah.
So this
Like,
was.
holy Christ.
So let's say the start time of the movie says 7, and you're saying the movie started at 7:35.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, fortunately, it wasn't a 3-hour movie. It's like an hour 46 or something like that. So, again, good economical runtime. And it
Stick
wasn't.
around for the little reveal there.
Yeah, but I was bummed
What?
because it was CGI.
Oh yeah.
It was just the voice. I wanted him in the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that.
And again,
Because
even
it was CGI, but it was also crappy CGI.
that,
Their CGI is garbage these days.
and they also introduce a character that no one remembers. This is the thing. They're like, ooh, there's a new character. Like, no one remembers that character.
I do.
It's another iteration of a. So the Marvels, which is just the various Captain Marvels that they've had over the years. It's all female, which is apropos of nothing. It's just that's what the characters are.
Mhm.
But it was fine. It was fine.
It's fine.
Sam Jackson's like the hardest working man in show business. Somehow they managed to shoehorn Nick Fury into every one of these movies. And so it was fine. But I was the only person in there. And, I was sitting in the back. So I kind of get up and peer over because there's kind of like, it's like a ziggurat there. You can't see people down below. And I kind of stood up. I go, oh, I'm the only one in here. So, but the bar is set so high on these movies that not making 100 million domestic makes it a huge flop when it opens, the week or so before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, but
'Cause it
that's
cost them
supposed to be a huge week for movies, though.
Yes, it is. That's what they're saying. They're like, it cost $220 million to make. And that's the problem, too, is they're spending way too goddamn much money on these movies. And you think they would have figured it out like 3 or 4 movies ago. Because you got to make twice your budget to break even when they figure in marketing costs and everything else. Any movie has got to make twice the budget just to break even. And so if you have a $220 million movie and you don't even make $200 million, it's a big money loser. You're losing a lot of money on that movie. And the actors don't care because they get paid. They're like, I don't have points. I'm getting paid. And Brie Larson, awesome. But the girl that plays the villain is Tom Hiddleston's wife. So I'm sure they, he plays Loki. I'm sure they had, hey, my wife's pretty good.
Who'd be good for this role?
My wife. My wife would be good villain. But yeah, so, it's fine.
Yeah,
I wanted to go see it. I went to go see it. And, I probably should have gone to see Saltburn, but Marvel's was fine.
I've been out on the Marvel stuff since, like, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was good. I like that, but
It was so sad.
it's super sad.
That movie was so sad. I was sobbing during
So
it.
unnecessary,
That was when
that movie.
I was watching that movie and Blake tattled on me to the whole theater. Brian's daughter looks over at me and in not a movie voice goes, Dad, Mary's crying. And I was like, dude, keep it down, man. What are you doing?
Yeah, but you probably weren't alone in that.
No,
I
that
mean,
movie was sad.
I just thought it was
That one.
completely unnecessary. They did not need to make a third Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well,
It's an origin story.
Origin
I liked it.
story.
It was.
But the other ones
Enough
I
of the
didn't care
origin
about.
stories. If your whole movie's an origin story, like, we have the characters. We know the characters. Nobody cares.
Don't you want to
Go
know
read
how
the
they
comic
got,
book.
You
I
know?
don't care.
Okay. I care how you get
How
there.
many times they rebooted the dumb Spider-Man origin story? People are like, oh my God, people from
that's a
other
different
planets
thing.
know how Peter Parker got to be Spider-Man.
That's different. We don't know how a Rocket got to be Rocket.
But nobody cares
I cared. It
how a
was-
raccoon
becomes
got a
robot
gun.
raccoon. Listen, I always care
There
how.
are
I care
so
about.
many raccoons with guns in this country. It's honestly ruining the
I
country.
care so much about anything a raccoon does. Send me all the raccoon videos. I love,
right.
I love watching raccoons do stuff.
Like I said, I've been
Their stupid
on,
little hands.
my algorithm has been incredible lately. And there was one where this little kid is off camera and his mom is filming the cat doing stuff. And you hear this little kid go, Mom? And she goes, hey, buddy, what's up? And he goes, I found something. And she was like, what did you find? He's like, don't be mad. and he's probably 8, 9, and he comes in with a raccoon that is like half the size of his body, and the raccoon is like holding him, and she's like, "Take that thing outside." He's like,
I
"It's
saw
so
that, yeah,
cute.
yeah.
Can we please get him?" The raccoon's like crawling.
Yeah, kid's gonna get rabies.
She's like, "No, dude, get that thing out of
Those
the
things
house."
are so vicious.
Did it have a gun?
It did not have a gun.
Oh, good. All right. You'll get my goddamn raccoon when you pull it from my cold dead hand, man.
I wouldn't be surprised if, like, there was a story of a Florida raccoon that had a gun.
What are
popped up.
armed and loaded raccoon?
What are more vicious, raccoons or opossums?
I don't think raccoons are mean, are they?
Yes, they are.
They
They
can
are
be. They
They
notoriously
can be.
mean.
I mean, if you
I thought
get
they
on
were
the
kind of chill, where they're like, "Give me your food,
I
and
mean,
I'm
if-
gonna run
if
away."
you get on their bad side,
Yeah.
They're having a bad day. They got their gun rights
Like,
taken away.
Rocket was nice to the Guardians, but he was still kind of
All
sassy.
those things are like glorified rats. I don't know if they're glorified, but they're just big rats, and they're disgusting.
Well, speaking of which, we were talking about marsupials a week or so ago, and people are wilding out down in Clearwater, Florida. We've got a handful of bureau chiefs down there in Clearwater, and 2 separate bureau chiefs sent me 2 separate Clearwater, Florida stories, both of which are equally bonkers. One guy got caught taking a dump on a dead possum at 5:30 in the afternoon. This is like during rush hour on a street in Clearwater. Rudy Wilcox got caught by an on-duty officer, pants down, squatting, taking a dump on a dead possum. Of course, they were reading him his rights, and he denied that anything untoward had happened. Police investigated the physical evidence.
It's my possum. I'll crap on it if I want
I was
to.
like, you just say so? Yes, I'm pooping on a dead possum. It's dead. What do you care for?
Because your pants are on your ankles in public. That's public exposure.
He's
That's a
making
crime.
it decompose faster.
Yeah. So he got arrested for exposure of sexual organs. And then they sent the other story they sent me was the dude who just got out of prison and was whacking it on a bike.
People just
skill.
love whacking it publicly. Why
Just
can't
publicly.
you wait till you get home?
Right. If you want to whack it publicly, go see the Marvels. Nobody's in there.
Sit in the back row. Yeah, a guy who had just gotten out of prison. He'd been in there for 20 years.
Wow.
Attempted murder, arson, and burglary. This was a guy who just would set houses on fire. And one of them had a bunch of people in and got killed or something. This dude was
He's like, I can't wait.
riding his bicycle in a parking lot in Clearwater, just whacking off. The people out there watching him. Whacking it.
Could that-
Stop by the cops.
Is
And,
Wayne Brady gonna have to choke a bitch?
whoops. Yeah, Wayne Brady got into a fight too down in Florida, I think. What's that, Poundcake?
Does a bike, now I don't ride a bike enough to know, but can that get you, can you get an erection while riding a bike? Is that a thing?
I can get
Depends
an
on which
erection anytime.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, apparently,
That's on my bucket
why would
list,
you
though.
not be able to have an erection
Well,
on
I
a
don't-
bicycle?
I'm saying I don't think I've ever had an erection on a bike.
How do you know?
You probably
Because
don't
I
ride a
remember-
bike all
You
that
never had a
often.
bike boner? Yeah, you're probably not on a bike that often, are you?
Often, I mean,
Get rid of the seat.
ouch. No, not recently. I haven't been on a bike, but the times I have been on a bike, I don't think I've ever. I mean, I've worn basketball shorts on a bike, and it could rub it, in such a way where it could make me have one. But I don't think I ever had one. I don't know. I just never have been at that point on a bicycle. Interesting.
I bet if you were wearing maybe loose shorts or tight shorts, probably either one, and you're riding around and you get the vibration of the bike. Maybe you're on some rough terrain.
Gravel.
Yep. Maybe you don't have the right tires.
I was gonna say bike
It's
seats
a
are
lot
not
bumpier than.
bike seats are not comfortable. They're not conducive to have a.
Well, they can be. I mean, if you have a gel seat or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
see,
get good ones.
I got a bony ass, so I have to have like a cushy bike seat.
I got a dunk, so it's not really that big of a deal, but I don't think I ever got to that point.
See, I have a 10-speed with a banana seat.
There you go. Put the banana in banana seeds.
Yeah!
Don't you?
So mine fine. I mean, I got plenty of room to spare. Plenty of room to move around. The cops grabbed this guy and said that his zipper was down, but he told them that he was still in the park.
What?
They're
Are
just
you
all
allowed to do it in
mentally
the
ill
park?
people.
Yeah.
You know, these people, they get released early or whatever because it's Florida and they're overcrowded. And so like, yeah, put him back on the street. Somebody will figure it out. Isn't that the guy who lit a bunch of houses on fire? Yeah, they'll figure it out. What's the worst that could happen? I don't know. He could masturbate on a bicycle. Yeah, it's better than lighting houses on fire.
I mean, it is.
Well, of course, but that's not the point. This guy's out there.
He's like, I'm about to go out and set some fires, or do you want me tossing off on a bike? And they're like, tossing off
Yeah,
on a
well,
bike?
he got out early.
Is he a sex offender now?
No, he's an arsonist.
But
But
after
then
you
now-
get caught doing that, you're a sex offender.
Oh, because he had his yeah. Well,
He's
they
exposing his sexual organs, just
Yeah.
like the guy that was pooping on the raccoon.
Yeah.
See, there should be different subject lines when they put you on a registry, like just like they tell you what you're in for or like what you did. It's like, all right, he exposed sexual organs, but he was pooping on a raccoon.
Whilst pooping.
whilst pooping on a raccoon.
Why is that raccoon or the possum just sitting there?
It was dead.
Oh,
was
is that?
dead.
Okay, all right. That's right.
He
That's
loved
right.
it. He was like, ah.
That's right. He got me all confused with the raccoon part. Turned into-
What if he? What's that line?
What animal would you like to poop on?
I only never mind.
A horse.
I was like,
Come
You
on.
had an answer ready?
I was like, that's all I do. These men out here, they're animals.
And you're pooping on them? What?
Dude.
I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
God.
Don't scrunch your face up at me, Alan.
These men out here are animals, yes? And you're
That's what he-
pooping on them?
Yes.
But don't tell me what to do with my
It's
face.
all scrunched up. You looked so disgusted.
Well, listen, it's not my kink. You know, you want to give somebody the glass bottom boat, more power to
I
you.
would
but
rather be the pooper than the poopy. Just say that.
maybe just keep it in your body. How about that? Maybe just,
Never- never
maybe
the option
just,
I was given.
huh?
That wasn't the option that I was given. I said if I, pooper or poopy, that's all you get. You got to pick one.
Where did that come from? That he had to pick
He made
one?
that up.
I don't know.
He
Yeah,
gave
he made
himself
that
an
up.
ultimatum.
All Bill did was ask you a very normal question: what animal would you like to poop on? And it turned into something.
Then you made it gross.
It turned into something unseemly.
Well, sorry.
Let me watch you poop. So you do want to be the poopy.
I'm about to go be a poopy right now.
Yeah. I got a break. Want to send a text 35192. AlanCoxShow.com is where you can watch, and we'll be back.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio